Hi there. Who am I? Well, that all depends on who you ask. If you ask the Japanese teachers, they might give you one of several responses. They might say I'm a superhero. There is a chance they might refer to me as the Pokemon Master. Some call me a Power Ranger. I'm also known as a ninja. They also know me as a big video game fan, or simply a guy who loves the color blue. A little bit about myself. My name's Emil De Castro, I'm 23 years old, and I graduated last June with a degree in linguistics. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person today, so I offered to make this video in lieu of my absence. My purpose today is to talk about my experience with Japanese at UCSB. I'm here to encourage you, both new and old Japanese students, and to give added meaning to your study of Japanese. Unfortunately, they only gave me about 5 minutes and I already wasted almost 60 seconds on a flashy self-introduction, so I better get to it. First, let me mention the Sensei Tachi. I studied Japanese for 3 years while I was at UCSB. I owe a huge part of those 3 years, as well as a big part of my overall college experience, to these Elite Four. These four are excellent teachers. Each of them has won Outstanding Faculty Awards 2 years in a row. But not only are they great instructors that without a doubt help you become very good at the language, but they also make for great conversation partners. Let me explain what I mean. To become good at Japanese, or any language for that matter, you need practice, practice, practice. Students in the East Asian department who are studying Chinese 1 through 6 are required to go to oral practice, I believe at least 4 times during the quarter. Each practice session lasts about 5 to 10 minutes. This gave me an idea. If the Chinese students got extra practice to help with their pronunciation and conversation, why not the Japanese students too? I thus took it upon myself to visit office hours as regularly as I could. Once or twice a week, I would converse with one of the sensei or TA, whether or not he or she was my instructor at the time. Some talks lasted only 5 to 10 minutes. Other times, if no one else came in, I would be there for the entire duration of office hours. If you really want to become fluent, I strongly recommend seeing them outside of class time. You don't have to stay for long, and they're not scary, so don't be discouraged. But bring a classmate to practice with if that makes you feel better. They will be happy to give you speaking practice, and it's a great way for you to get to know them. But more importantly, it's a great way for them to get to know you. This will come very much in handy, especially if you plan on asking them for a letter of recommendation in the future. Hint, hint. Second, I want to talk about why Japanese class was always my favorite class. One thing I've always liked about language classes are the open-ended questions. You could choose the answer with a textbook example, or you could do what I did and make it a little more interesting as long as you're grammatically correct. For example, every Monday, I'm sure you're going to be asked, "What did you do this weekend?"
You could answer, I saw a movie, I slept a lot, or I did homework. My answers usually sounded something like, I defeated evil ghosts with my sword. I saved the world and rescued the beautiful princess. Or, I searched the world for the greatest treasure in the universe and found it. Despite my ridiculous answers, I always got a complete check mark and sometimes a written comment. Often they would draw 1 out of 3 faces on my paper.
Japanese class is really small compared to the class size of some of the other courses you might be taking. In addition, you have class Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday if you're in the 120 series. As a result, there's a little more sense of unity compared to discussion sections of big courses. By the end of the quarter, you should know everyone's name. Well, at least everyone's last name. For those of you in Japanese 1 who plan to stick around for another 2 or more years, be prepared to make what might be some of your closest college friends. From my experience, Japanese class is also a great place to meet a cute significant other. I'm sure the sensei and my former classmates know what I'm talking about. I became real close with my classmates because we spent a lot of time together outside of class. And I just don't mean studying together for a quiz or test. We would eat together in the dining commons. Some of us would write calligraphy together. Here's a sample and a few pictures. The Japanese department also offers sushi workshops, and karaoke. The most fun group activity we had, however, was when we as a class made an intramural soccer team during Japanese 6. We call ourselves Team Samurai.
We made matching t-shirts for our team uniforms with the kanji for samurai on them. Our team captain was our TA at the time.
That quarter, we also had 2 class barbecues. The teachers were invited, but they didn't attend. Our team captain TA, however, attended and joined us. How many classes do you know where you have an opportunity to play drinking games with your teaching assistant? Most of the students in Japanese are not Japanese majors and are currently studying a variety of subjects. Despite the differences, you all have a common interest in the Japanese language. Use this common interest to make new friends and memories that will last you a lifetime. I know mine will. College life goes by really quickly, trust me, especially on the quarter system, so don't let it pass you by. Third, I want to address how far you can go in Japanese with the classes that are offered at UCSB. During my last quarter, I had 2 big assignments due before graduation. One was an English lesson plan for teaching English as a second language, and the other was a research paper for my final assignment I turned in Japanese. I bring this up because I know some students, whether just new or soon to be graduating, are interested in applying for the JET program. Could you guess the topics I picked? For the lesson plan, I decided to use the theme of superheroes. Did you ever think that Batman and Company would be used so effectively to teach English grammar? As for my Japanese research paper, I picked and wrote about a topic none other than Pokemon. That's right, my essay was about video games and television show that most of us loved as kids, or in my case, still love. The paper was 7 pages, double-spaced of course, and a length of about 5,300 characters. The point I'm trying to make is that by the end of 3rd year Japanese, you will be good enough to write several paragraph essays with a grammar and vocabulary you will have learned. The 4th and final thing I want to talk about is life after graduation. I officially start work on Monday, but in my spare time I do something really fun. I currently volunteer at a Japanese community center near my house. I help set up and clean up for events. Last week we had a charity yard sale, which proceeds go to tsunami and earthquake victims. Every weekend, I'm a teaching assistant at the center's Japanese school. I'm only in the introductory class with the students being around 5 years old. It's actually more like babysitting than it is teaching, but at least the students and I have the same maturity level. On Thursdays, I play ping pong at the community center with senior citizens. And let me tell you, these older ladies take their game pretty seriously. Here, check this out. Not bad for a 72-year-old, right? I was lucky because I had a lot of ping pong in Japanese class. Get it? Because ping pong means correct in Japanese, and I usually answered correctly. Oh, that was a terrible joke. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you feel a little more inspired. If you have any questions about me, Japanese, linguistics, college in general, finding a job, or getting involved in the Japanese community, feel free to email me. You can get my email from any one of these 4. My 5 minutes are way overdue, so it's time for me to go fight evil, save the world, and find treasures, all that regular stuff. So good luck to you on studying Japanese.